winner match of the AlphaX 500 DJ Esports Cup round of 8 Group A. As we start in the bottom right, our red Terran player is Cure. And the bottom left, our blue Zerg is soO. Now, it's a TVZ, it's a winner's match, hoping for a good one. So in case this ends up on the YouTubes, I've actually been uploading a bunch of videos lately where we just don't mention YouTube at all. And the subscribing has slowed down a little bit, guys. And we're so close to 25,000 YouTube subs. So if you're watching this on the YouTubes, make sure you hit that sub button if you enjoy what you're hearing. Maybe give the video a like as well, help push it up the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for the support, of course, as always. And yeah, we do have the 25,000 YouTube subscriber tournament coming up when we hit 25k YouTube subs. So consider helping us out with that as we do go into this TVZ. So it's a best of 3 winners match. Winner advances to the semi-finals. And we have Ragnarok and Patience in the elimination match of this dual elim group at the moment. So the loser of this isn't out, but the loser of this will then have to beat either Ragnarok or Patience in that decider match just a little bit after. As we do see Overlord moving around, this Overlord here setting up racks of Q in the main base already. And yeah, I mean, Overlord's just getting onto the map and not really much to talk about for the first minute and a half of Golden Wall. I would say Golden Wall has taken some interesting developments in TVZ, because we kind of got to the point where everyone kind of messed around with the bottom side, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go all the way back in its history, but more recently, we saw the gold base always being taken, and that's still true. You still take the gold base as a Terran player. But it used to be the gold base would power you up for a very powerful push, and you'd go from there. But nowadays, Terrans are going for that gold base into just a nice, quick 4th base as well, and really using that gold to just help control the size of the map while going into kind of a longer macro game. So, it's really been fun to see that kind of change and develop. And I mean, I feel like you could write an essay on Golden Wall and the way it was approached and the way that players played it throughout its lifespan. And what's great is that we're not even done with it yet. You know, the map is still developing and feels like it's still changing. Honestly, this map has been really, really fun to play and to see how stuff works on it. You know, introducing new, different styles, and, for the most part, things stay standard, but with a couple of changes. And yeah, it's been really, really awesome to see. As the Reaper pulling away there, the Lings coming back in. Bit of back and forth between the Reaper and the Zerglings so far, and a grenade to pop a few drones back the hatcher. The command center about to finish up. And of course, no surprises, no shocks here in the early stages of Golden Wall at all. Just going to see this Reaper will go and check the 3rd base location, but there's also nothing in position there, so nothing to be done about that as the orbital command sets up on the natural. We do have our starport also building in the main base, so starport is going to be coming through, and it's going to be double gas from Cure. Now we have seen Cure playing some battle cruisers earlier in this group. Cure came through Ragnarok 2-1 to get into this winner's match, while soO came through Patience 2-0. So we did see Cure playing some mech. That was on Ice and Chrome. I was trying to think what he did. They played Golden Wall. They played Eternal and Everdream, right? So Ice and Chrome, Eternal, and Everdream. So they didn't play this map in the earlier series, Cure versus Ragnarok. But we'll see what he has planned. It is going to be a fusion core. It is going to be a battle cruiser. Another kind of interesting development in the overall TVZ state of at the moment is that's a Reaper that just gets killed, by the way. Kind of unfortunate, just losing that to the Sweetlings. 3rd hatchery going down post lair. So quick lair and quick spire here from soO. That's going to be good to get Mutalists up to help deflect the BCs. But yeah, obviously Mutas have... BCs have kind of come back into play. And BCs have never really been gone from play, but they've definitely gone through phases of popularity. And right now, they are way less popular. Right now, they were way less popular, and they're definitely coming back again. Whether that's the Queen range nerf, which maybe makes them just a little bit better again. Maybe it's just that time of the month where Terrans are like, yeah, you know what? It's time for some BCs again. Let's keep it fresh. We've been using Cloak Banshees a lot the last month or so. Let's change it up. Either way, what's interesting is that because of the fast lair, usually you have a fast spire, so then the BCs kind of force a Mutalisk style anyway. And then I think a lot of Terrans are kind of okay playing against that, but the Zerg's also okay playing it as well. So that's another way to look at this, I suppose. Man, it's honestly crazy how much TVZ is kind of changing at the moment and how much it's kind of moving around a lot. Well, Queen's out in the front. We see the Hellions around the bottom side. Tech up on the barracks with the armory of Kira on the back of the natural. So Getting that armory down as a couple of Hellions in the battle cruiser continuing up. Supply Depot going to be finishing on the natural, and the Hellions still moving around with the Queens getting to the front there. Creep team already goes down. Impact setting up, and we will just see the bio transition from the battle cruiser, which is one of the least popular ways of playing a battle cruiser at the moment, to play BC in a bio, because I don't know, like I feel like it just doesn't get enough done because of the fastest fire. You know, fastest fire is like you force meters and then you get multiple BCs out. Yeah, it's interesting right now. These Hellions and BC are having a good time trading out. The Queen's running out of transfusions, but hey, this BC is going to die, so I really don't like this. They're trading out for a couple of Queens, yes, but battle cruiser dead, Evo chamber down a block. Can you get some drones here as Cure? You get some drones, then great, but the meters are about to spawn, and well, the BC is actually meant to be part of what helps you kind of deal with the mutalists initially as well, right? It's decent anti-air defensively, as those Lings will continue to chase the Hellions, taking some damage as they get pushed away. A lot of Lings out to the right-hand side there. Muta's setting up, and just going to be seeing the couple of orbitals here. Well, they're going to have to hold. I mean, you need to hold the wall right now as Kira. I feel like if this wall goes down, you get overrun very quickly as the SCVs pull to repair. The issue is you lose the BC. If the BC was here, it's no problem. Widow Mines, though, get big shots on the Mutas. soO didn't see that coming, and there might just be enough Widow Mine plus Marine Force on the high ground there to keep this safe. 15 SCVs go down already, though, as soO continues to overwhelm in this natural. Gets to 21 workers killed. Okay, a couple of meters lost was bad, but he hasn't lost any more from there, and there's not even a missile turret in the main base. And this is why I don't like you losing that battle cruiser. It feels way too, especially when you're switching into bio after, because your racks are delayed from getting into the BC. Yeah, I don't like it at all. Well, meters will continue to move around at the moment. Changelings setting up on that right-hand side. The Baneling speed is setting up on the Bane Nest, and the rest of the Lings around out to the left. Hellions on the natural. We just get in and just going to see the supply depot taking a few shots of damage. So depot taking some damage there. 1-1 melee upgrades getting started. We do see that Baneling speed continuing up as well, and just seeing the Lings underneath that Overseer with this orbital going to move across to the third base location. So going to get that into position. Marines at the front, able to push these mutas away pretty quickly. soO's just in a really good spot, though, because you're obviously losing that many SCVs, and then because of that, you lose out on units, and because you don't have enough units, it's scary to take this gold too quickly. But then you're not taking the gold quickly, so you're missing out on that economy. It's just that knock-on effect of, you know, one bad thing leading to the next. Let's go back into the center. Lings, Banes, the Overseer all setting up. Overlord speed is going to be building in the natural, and again, everything joining together right now. Ling, Bane, Muta ready to run forward into this, and well, Hellions going down. I mean, the Banes don't have Bane speed, and okay, the Bane speed finishes as I'm saying it, so before I was like, well, maybe without the Bane speed. I was actually going to say, I think even without Bane speed, I think this was going to be too much, but with the Bane speed finishing up, it is definitely too much, and soO has the numbers to take that first game. GG's. As in the bottom left-hand side, we do have the blue Terran player. It is Cure. And they are taking on the red Zerg in the top right-hand side. It is soO. Dolvenwolf with the generosity of the 1,000 bits. Hey, thank you so very much. Appreciate it. And some love in the Dolvenwolf guys, always supporting the channel. Day in, day out. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Alright, so, a bit more ZvT. Obviously, that last game really went wrong for Cure when he lost that BC, right? And I can't stress that enough. Because the entire counterattack that soO had from that point was based around the fact Kira invested into a battlecruiser, which he lost for what, 3 queens? He got a few drones as well. But just the problem is you then lose your Hellions too, so there's it's not just the BC, I guess, right? It's the BCs and the Hellions being lost. So the mutas are able to break through into the natural with Ling support. And so there's just not enough of everything together to really, shut that down. Then you lose 20 SCVs, and then it's not worth the 10 drones you lost. And again, the knock-on effect from there, as mentioned, really just led to the loss in the game. As we now go into game 2, and this Overlord of soO making his way down the bottom side. This Rax from Kyo already going to finish up in the main. The Overlord, a couple of Overlords spread out at the moment in the hatchery and the natural as well. As you do see the Reaper from Kyo building in the main. Very standard startup once more for this TVZ map too. Nobody really throwing any curveballs out there just yet. Nobody kind of, shocking us or surprising us or anything. Just nice and standard for the moment. So SCV just continuing to the top right, and there's our command center onto the natural. With the Overlords from soO to the bottom, to the left. Continuing to set up for that as the SCV will go into the natural. Again, a scout to see what's going on. Two Queens of soO just building up, so one in the main, one in the nat. And this Reaper will continue up through the center of the map. Overlord of soO across to the left-hand side. Well, Kira, I mean, no second gas just yet, and that's past the point of getting it. So it will be a 3cc opener. So definitely gives them a bit more of a macro focus. I mean, the BC had a macro focus as well, but the BC, well, honestly, this is kind of why BC in a bio is kind of not so great anymore, because the Zerg can respond to it so easily and have such a good follow-up to it. And that's why we don't see it that often. So, yeah, with the 3cc, should just be kind of guaranteed into a bit of a longer, more standard game. Nobody should be losing loads of workers or anything like that super early on either. It should just be nice, peaceful, fun gameplay. Some good stuff like that as the factory is going to drop down onto the reactor here. I'm just going to be seeing the racks moving off. So again, a couple of Hellions continuing to build. If it gets pushed away, Lair continues up from soO in the main base. So it's going to be that faster Lair once again. Lair on 2 bases, then take the 3rd hatch. And again, that's been a kind of a more popular style in general as of late, as the starport about to finish from Kyo, the command center in the main. Again, a few of these Hellions just popping out. It's going to be, I mean, Kyo going back to kind of what seems like Cloak Banshee setup. So Cloakless Banshee initially, and then what he did earlier against Ragnarok was he then went into a second Banshee. So he went into like a second Banshee, which was, well, it was like, I guess just a second Banshee, which then did have Cloak, right? And he just used those 2 Cloak Banshees to harass. I don't know why I'm getting hung up on my words. It's not complicated. So yeah, you get Banshee, then you get Cloak when the gas allows, and then you will get a second Banshee as well. So a very safe way to play the 3cc. Banshee's very good at defending in case your opponent gets aggressive. It is a faster Spire though from soO, and so there's also going to be an Overseer available, so the Banshees will be somewhat limited in what they can achieve, and the Banshees do have an expiry date on them. When these meters get out, it's difficult for those Banshees to stay on the map. What the Banshees could do is hang back at home and then wait for the meters to move themselves onto the map, and then maybe try and circumvent your way around them, and then maybe show up for a bit more damage. But when you do that, those Banshees then are committed and they will die, so no amount of micro will save you from Mutalisks. So it is worth keeping that in mind. I'd say that's a little bit of a positive to soO at the moment. As soon as the Hellions back into the center, Spire will be finishing in the back of the natural, and just going to be seeing our Hellions all on the watchtower there as a single Zergling nearly going down, just about gets away. So it's able to scarp run out of there. And the Spire from soO setting up on the natural. A few Lings moving across to the 3rd base as well. Simpack already building as the starport moves off to the side. Reactor is going to be building, and very passive from Kyo, right? Even with the Hellions, he's keeping a good amount of them at home, making sure he doesn't get hit by any run-bys or anything, not giving soO an opportunity to break back into, or I say break back into the game, but to break into an advantage in the game. Say soO's work count feels a bit low, maybe, right? Q has been very good at staying competitive there. The effect of the 3CC. I mean, let's see now what the Banshees brings to this. But like I said, Overseer's already up. And a big thing for soO is he didn't actually have to build spores here. So yes, it relies a bit more on the Queens to push this back. Wow. Well, 5 workers. Okay, this was actually starting to look really good, but then the mutas show up, right? So the mutas clean out the Banshees, and so you will get, what, 6 workers for the Banshee investment? Again, don't get me wrong, 6 workers is nice to kill, but those are 2 cloaked Banshees that are now dead. And yeah, they were going to, fall off at some point, but there were ways to maybe get more out of them. And yes, again, I guess you could argue they've served their purpose. They've already done the protecting that you needed them to do in the early stages. There was no way a roach attack was going to come across the map and kill you or anything. As these mutas get pushed away up the side, 14 more Lings coming out. The Bane speed still coming up on the Bane nest, as there's the Hellions running in to get a bunch of extra drones. 3 workers already killed. Coming around, 5 workers picked off. More of these Zerglings will be going down as well. So a few more Lings going down, 8 workers killed. Mutas coming through, picking off a Hellion as well. It's a nice shutdown, as you do just see the Carapace upgrade continuing in from soO also. And a 4th hatchery in the front. Marines and a Reaper continuing out to the left-hand side, as you do see the mutas back up through the top. So first push of Q, a very typical position here, sitting on the edge of the creep. There's a few of these creep teamers already going down. Queen's going to inject. Shield building from Kira in the main base, as we do see the armory setting up onto the back of the main as well. Mutas are going to fly over, and Marines will stim on through. The mutas get pushed away already. So mutas pushed into the center of the map here. A couple of Queens showing up again. A couple of tank shots firing away, and we do have the Queens taking some shots as well. Banes are going to roll forward in towards this Marine army. Mutas out down to the bottom side. Tank fires, Baneland gets picked off. These other... Well, this hatchery taking some damage as well as the mutas flying in, getting a couple of kills. A lot more Zerglings on the way out from soO, and just going to see the Marines and the Reaper going to be setting up onto the hatchery. So, hatchery taking some extra damage. Tanks are going to fire, and here we go. Ling Bane Muta continue to fly on in. Got these Banes continue to pull back. I mean, a few more of these Banes going down. Lings and Mutas going to continue forward, and the rest of these Marines getting here, pushing the Zerglings away. Overseer goes down as well. And still joining up as the Mutas hang out overhead. Marines going through, a couple of Cryptimus going down. Queen taking a few shots already. The mutas will continue to run their way over here, as again, this is just a continued push from Q. Really looking to break in with only the Carapace from soO. I'm not sure what happened there, but missing the melee upgrade, that obviously hurts. He is already expanding to the right side. I like that preparation of this base perhaps going down, giving himself that option. But if he takes that right side and Q takes his 4th on the low ground, he's then going to get access to that base very easily, right? So then you lose 2 bases in pretty quick succession, really. I like the mutas taking away medevac, taking away the tanks especially, right? Really gives you the chance to come in and overwhelm this. So he is going to run forward, and the tank gets taken down already. Marines are going to have to go and run, but extra Marines showing up. A couple of mutas going down. The reinforcements, well, soO going to decide to keep on going. He's going to keep chasing in. I don't like it. Off creep, all the Banes will go down, and you just lost a lot of your army, soO. You're going to need to get those Banelings back up, otherwise you're not going to hold this attack as it hits your 4th base again. I feel like that was overconfidence from soO. Really underestimated the amount of reinforcements that were about to show up. Lings going down, mutas being picked away at. Bane's about to finish morphing. Q will target a few of them down. Widowmine is going to help to get rid of most. And the Thor tanks the rest of the shots, and big hits on the mutas. Suddenly Q has just taken that overcommitment from soO, and he's going to run away with it. These mutas are committing into Thor shots and Marines. Wow, that was a huge overcommitment from soO across the map. It just lost him the game. He actually did what he needed to do. He kept his base alive. He did, he pushed Kua back. And he chased for no reason. He took a fight he didn't need to take. And Kyo will then just overwhelm and win game 2 when soO was in a fine spot. Top right side of the map with the red Terran player. It is Kyo. Up against the blue Zerg on the bottom left-hand side of the map from the Afrika Freaks. It is soO. So yeah, setting up and getting into a third game. We have talked a bit about Ice and Chrome already. Big map. Definitely the sort of map you play mech on. And definitely might be the map to actually bring back the battlecruiser opening, but actually to play into multiple battlecruisers instead of the switch into bio a little bit later on. That's our command center about to finish up. SCV is producing, and command center will be built on the low ground in just a few moments. Actually on the natural expansion as our overlords setting up on the left, over to the right. Command center already building. Yeah, building ourselves up onto game number 3 here at the moment, as we do have a fun day of action setting up. Well, Queenslings coming through, command center on the natural, just going to be seeing the Overlord hanging around in the factory. From Q starting up in the main base. Again, that start, again the Queens, the link speed. All of this all building up at the moment. So next few moments we'll see if it's a double gas or not, and it's, well, we've already kind of seen it's not double gas, so we will see the 3cc starting. And again, a setup that perhaps get a little bit more done, basically, as we see the second CC about to finish, or the third CC on the way. What does Q to go for from here? Because when we see him going 3cc, he's going into that pretty safe kind of Banshee setup. So is the plan the same, or is there something else decided right now, as we do just have the factory onto the reactor, so a couple of Hellions can start up, a couple of Queens, the link speed, all of that building. And there's our lair, also on the way from soO in the main base, so getting the lair underway. Extractor starts up, lair coming through, again the starport not far from finishing here from Kyo at all. With the third CC continuing to build in that main base. I know I've said it a few times, just waiting for something more exciting to happen. I mean, soO's doing the same build he's done in the last couple of games already, right? It's just a lair-based opener. Really no surprises there just yet. You have the Banshee is building as expected. Kind of just a repeat of the last game then. I mean, I think you can look at that last game as soO and be like, well, I'm kind of happy to just play a repeat of the last game, because it's not like the last game was particularly bad for soO. You know, the last game was okay, right? Like, it was all right. He just made a mistake. He went too far after pushing the army back, and I mean, if this is going to switch into bio from Q, this is an even better map for soO to play versus bio on, because again, it's larger. It's nice, actually. Kills the creep team via the Reaper. Cute little play. That's the Reaper just going to be healing up a bit again. Creep spread going to be finishing from soO in the center, and seeing this Ling around the top side as the Banshee, the Colloquial coming through. Baneling Nest from soO sets up in the natural expansion. Spire just going to be setting up in the back of the natural. And again, just getting ready to go. A couple of extra Overlords continue to build. Hellions setting up. Cloak about to finish. Stimpack coming through. The extra racks coming into play. And just going to be seeing our engineering base about to finish in the back of the main. Hellions coming down. A couple creep teamers being picked away at. And the Spire about to finish on the back of the natural. So going to be seeing the Hellions continuing through. As Bermuda's continuing to build. Again, 1-1 upgrades coming in. Stimpack is setting up. Missile turrets continuing to come on into this with the Lang is moving through into the natural expansion. Gets shut down pretty quickly as well. Evo Chambers still coming out on the third base. Banshees on the bottom side. Good amount of Hellions in the center, and the Mutas will continue up to the top right. Valley upgrades coming through. Banshee showing up already. Again, a good few drones already. So again, a couple kills. Again, the melee upgrades finishing on the Evo Chambers soon, and it's going to be Q's advantage, the 1-1 being that much further along as he gets some good drone damage. The Banshees here this game, better than the last game, right? The Mutas weren't there right away, so he gets 10 drones instead of the 6. Still loses the Banshees. There's Marines, Hellions, Medivacs, tanks, all of those joining up together, and seeing our Mutas of soO continuing onto the map to the upper right side to see what else they can get done. The Mutas just not had a chance to get across the map yet, which I find kind of crazy because now the Mutas are still not really doing anything. So Q's going to get across the map for free. No harass from the Mutas, nothing to slow him down. And Marines coming in, a couple of these creep teamers going down. Gets picked off again. The rest of these Mutas continue to come through, and he's trying to push forward. The 1-1 melee upgrades gonna be done fairly soon. I mean, the melee upgrades need to finish before soO takes this fight. I mean, it's very similar to what happened on Eternal Empire. In theory, this should be harder to do for Q because of the longer distance across, and you know, this fourth base being set further back on the map than it does on Eternal Empire, so it should be hard to do. So he's going to launch a full-on counter-attack, though, so he's going to go counter and go straight into that third base already. These Banes coming in. They're going to blow up a couple of these Marines. Oh my god, I mean, he just kills like 26 workers across the map, so 26 SCVs already down. And Cure, well, he's going to get a base. I mean, he's going to lose a third as well, though. The only question will be, oh, the Banes are going to get blown up by a tank. Hey, does he get the third base? He does. Okay, that's big. He needs to clean up this army across here, though. If those other Banes had survived, then maybe he's okay. But I'm actually a little bit worried about this push from Q. Still doing a bit too much. Picking away at the Baneling Nest, and Queensling's Banes starting to roll through, all from one direction. He's missing the Mutas at the moment. He needs everything he can get in this fight. Because it's not just this army, there's going to be the follow-up reinforcements about to arrive. The first few extra Marines already getting here. There's no Banelings ready. Oh man, it's about to be 2-2 upgrades as well from Q if he waits a few moments. I don't know if he needs to wait a few moments. Right now, chasing in. He's going to kill the Baneling Nest, so only 6 Banelings left in the game. And they're not even ready yet. They're just in the production tab still. Well, this is... going to see the rest of this continue to come on through. Lang's Banes Mutas continuing through into this. Just going to see Marines continue to go down. Mutas getting in top of the Medivacs, and isn't enough. There's just too many Marines. The meter count going down. The Lings are going to stream in. There's no Banelings, remember, so you kind of have to clean this up before more units get here. The less Marines there are, the better the fight's going to be for you, obviously, but it's just not going to be enough, and so it looks like a bad fight. But what are you going to do? Back away for more Marines to arrive? You just don't buy the time for it to be meaningful enough, and it just doesn't. It helps the Terran more than the Zerg, which is why soO has to dive on it, and it's going to be too much here from Kua. Marines continuing in, drones going down. Just going to see this hatchery being picked away at. I'm just going to be seeing the Lings and Mutas continue to fall. Too much going down. Rest of these Mutas will die. Kua is going to take it 2-1 in a pretty exciting conclusion to what was a pretty, repetitive game after game number 2. GG's. Kua gets first.